Test. Check. 1, 2.
But I know you were at the Hollywood Bowl the other night,
right?
And I'm guessing you had to use the in-house VDOS system.
Yes.
Now, when you come into a place with I mean, that's not an unfamiliar system for you,
right,
but it's not what you've been using on this tour.
Right.
What kind of adjustments do you have to make?
Well, what I do is I have a little thing that I do whereby I have a Lake DLP unit, one of our Lake DLP units, which I've set up as a multi-output matrix processor, so that even though I'm giving someone else's PA the feed, I actually have the tonal balance control of that sound system. So, you know, I never would accept the standard, someone handed me some unknown system to me, I never accept that how it is, and I mean, that's not to say it's not good, bad or indifferent. Because of what I'm putting into it and what I know is coming out of the desk, I have to make sure that the sound system that I'm using, whether it be mine or someone else's, is actually going to reproduce exactly what's coming out of my board. So therefore, you know, I use something in front of anybody's sound system such that I set the tonal balance, the tuning of the system, if you like. I'm not at the mercy of whatever it's tuned before I arrive.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a very, very good trick to always maintain consistency.
I was reading a piece the other day. We have an interview with Cubby,
right,
in this time. And Cubby to me is like one of the elite guys.
Exactly.
But when he talked about the people he looked up to, your name came up.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, I look up to him. I did a Genesis tour with Cubby many years ago. That every show was the finest, some of the finest live sound I've ever heard in my life. So, you know, he has the most amazing ears, and I respect him highly.
Yeah, he's one of the really good guys. But yeah, what kind of advice would you give to somebody coming up? I mean, I see too many guys out there that don't listen. They think they know everything. Well, come out of school, yada yada yada.
One of the biggest pieces of advice I give to all the young guys that I teach mixing classes to is, when you, this time now that we're talking, just, you know, the crowd's coming in, look around at your audience and imagine what they think the sound should be when they bought their ticket. Should it be deafeningly loud if it's an AC/DC show? Yes, it should. If it's Sting with an orchestra, no, it shouldn't be deafeningly loud, nor should it be hugely bottom-end heavy. Too many rock shows are ruined totally by the focus on the kick drum. And, you know, the band itself, even when they made a rock record, they signed off on the final mix. And believe me, the kick drum was never louder than the lead vocal. And yet I go to so many shows where I have to fix a lot of Claire shows that the bottom end is out of control. I mean, they're trying to get across excitement, but they're approaching it in a totally wrong way. They're using both too much level, because what happens is your crowd fatigues on you. Mm-hmm. They get halfway through the show and you've beaten them over the head so badly with level that the light and shade of the nuances of the show are totally lost. The group, if they really realized what was happening sometimes, would be absolutely horrified. But, you know, it's a lesson to be learned, and experience tells you that. I mean, this show tonight has so much light and shade in it that, you know, absolute gain structure on the console is a must. That gives you a way of always being in control of the overall dynamic, the overall level of the show, and the overall mix. So even if there's solo here and a little lilt bit here and a little piece here, you always have a baseline mix that you can get back to, that you never lose control of the overall situation. And that's the real key to mixing, especially with a lot of inputs. Clarity and definition is also part of how you tune a system. There's two art forms go on these big shows. One is tuning the sound system to deliver what is coming out of the mixing console. The other one is actually mixing the music of the show, and they're two different art forms that, you know, a lot of guys that I run into, a lot of younger guys, are really incredible feel for the actual music. But in a lot of cases, they should stand back and let the system person tune the system for them, because they attempt to tune the system for what they think they're going to mix to, and the two aren't completely compatible. I have the advantage in that I'm always involved in the final sound of all of Claire systems. I'm involved in the design and the conception and I'm the person from the practical side, engineering side, that does the final response tuning for the arrays that go out on the road. So obviously I have an inbuilt advantage with our system, but it also gives you the skill set when you run across someone else's system. You know, you're also, you know, you're not beaten by almost any system. You can deliver a very pleasing result. I mean, I'm to the point now, and I've been doing it a long time admittedly, where I don't care what the brand of the system up there is, you know, because it becomes a creative challenge to deliver a consistent show to the audience.
That's great, and it's a perfect place to end it. Howard, thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.